young, you're finally up, are you?
Katherine, it looks like it's shaping up to be quite a day for our police commissioner.
Ah, so now he's our police commissioner.
Well, you told me that he was close to this Frisco, and the paper says that this young man is in for big trouble.
Maybe I should go over to Robert's office.
Well, it seems to me when a busy man has asked you to butt out of his affairs, you can at least respect his wishes.
The paper says that Claudio may die, and if that's the case, then Robert's going to have to arraign one of his best friends for murder.
That's why the commissioner walks so tall. You know, he's a man of iron, that one. Katherine, please leave him to his work.
Well, perhaps you're right. I have other things to do anyway.
Bull!
That's just the comment I'd expect, considering the source.
Katherine.
What?
May I have a word with you, please, alone?
What about?
Butting in.
Are you saying that I am...
You heard me. Robert Scorpio is a very strong, self-confident man who says what's on his mind, and you, Katherine, dear, are afraid of him.
I'm not afraid of him.
You are afraid of him. How long did you stay with that, that archaeologist, Paul? What was his name?
Paul DeVore.
Oh, that's right. It rhymed with the boar.
Well, you wouldn't have found him quite so boring if it were you that he tried to kill.
If he hadn't lost his marbles, you probably would have married that hormoneless turkey.
No way. I was not going to marry him. But before he got ill, he was good to me.
Being good to you is not necessarily the same as being good for you. That is a lesson, apparently, you haven't learned yet.
I learned it early. My father was good to me, and he was also very good for me. Without him, I would have never become a musician.
That's true. You might not have been the pianist the world admires and loves, that's for sure, but you might have become a more successful woman.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
The truth is often unpleasant, Katherine, but it is rarely awful.
I inherited my talent from Daddy, and he made tremendous sacrifices to make sure that I would develop this talent.
Wrong. Your father was a terribly charming, brilliant man who loved you. There was no doubt about that. But the only real talent he had was for making money.
What about his talent as a composer?
You don't see it yet, do you?
Yes, I see. Do you know what I see? I remember him as he would be bent over his desk and he'd be writing his music the whole time I was practicing.
Katherine, his real love was music. And it broke his heart because he finally found out that working twice as hard and twice as long in the arts was no substitute for talent. And then you came along with that wonderful gift you have for music. But he was so demanding. Good wasn't good enough. Excellence was barely passable. And anything short of perfection was considered a failure.
Well, that, my dear Aunt Iona, is the difference between just being a piano player and being a performer.
Katherine, I am merely trying to point out to you that all your struggles, all your practicing, all the sacrifices you made, all of it was motivated by your need for your father's approval. And you, kiddo, are determined to avoid taking on any man whose approval is as hard to get as your father's was.
This is all so very interesting, but you know what? I have errands to do. I'm late.
Fine. Fine. Do something for me, will you?
Sure.
Remember this little chat when Robert Scorpio says something to you that makes you feel less than perfect.
I will. Thanks for the little chat.
The sight was all right. I don't really want to have to deal with Felicia at the moment, especially given what I just had to do with her ex-husband.
I sent Felicia down to talk to Frisco and get some coffee together now.
Well, might settle him down. Judge threw the book at him, along with the bookcase.
What about bail?
I recommended against it under any circumstances.
How did Frisco react?
Well, I also opted for solitary rather than a normal cell. You spoken to Sean?
Yes, He is in full agreement with our basic plan. That's how come Catherine is here.
You mean Ace Gumshoe? I've got to be honest with you. You know, if it hadn't been for your buddy wanting to come to town to pay you a visit, we'd have been hard-pressed to come up with a suitable plan to entrap the Big D.
All right, now, Sean is arranging for us to tap into the Bureau's worldwide communications network.
But I thought that the Bureau was refusing to cooperate.
Anna said tap into their communications. She didn't say anything about cooperation. The less they know, the better.
Each of the 6 dictators will be summoned to a meeting with Domino.
How are you going to do that?
Robert is going to pose as one of Domino's aides. Naturally, each of the men will think they're having a private audience with Domino.
For security reasons, do not, I repeat, do not call back to confirm this meeting. Just be there, your dictatorship.
Well, then, how are you going to get Domino to this meeting?
You're going to get your buddy Sargon to request a personal tete-a-tete with Domino.
Ah. Then when Domino shows up, he's thinking he's only going to be meeting with Sargon.
Right, but there will be 6 dictators there who will have just learnt that Domino is going to use them for his own means.
6 rather angry dictators, I should point out. And we, of course, will be listening to everything that they say. Say to Domino, too, for that matter. I also think I should point out that we'll be cooperative with anybody who wishes to squeal on Mr. Van Buren.
This is great. This is great. If only my father could see me now involved in a major international bust.
Sting.
Sting.
And you are a key player, remember that.
Let's just remember, though, you're not a professional, and you do as you're told. I want no amateurish stunts to screw up this deal.
Right, well, that's clear enough. Well, let me know when you need me, all right? And make sure I won't mess things up for you.
Bye.
Bye.
She got a problem?
Only you.
Look, I'm just trying to look out. I want to make sure that nothing happens to her.
Robert, do you go to classes for insensitivity, or is this like natural?
Insensitive, perhaps. Uncaring, no.